Hello and welcome back to Old Yharnam. So we start not necessarily by going to the Bloodstar Beast, but to resolve some unfinished business. You see, the hunter that has been pestering us with the machine gun is actually right up there, believe it or not. Let me see. Yes, up this stair. So normally you're supposed to actually get up here and have an epic, duel of fates with him and his weapon. Or, if I play my cards just right... yeah, Snake Eater joke. You just do this. Oh, I don't have any bullets. Fuck.
I should think you
Shit.
still have dreams.
Well, that was embarrassing.
The next time you dream.
Okay.
It's okay, you just woke up.
The idea is that you're supposed to actually, pepper him with bullets so he actually falls back into the ravine. Again, we should be able to pull it off. I just literally did not check that my gun had no bullets. Rookie mistake, I know. Well, while I'm getting back into position, Dweebs, what have you watched recently?
Recently in the cinema, I was one of the 8 people that saw Tron Ares.
Yeah, the movie is apparently projected to not do that much. Apparently still decent, a bit, but probably not, that big of a box office that Disney's expecting.
Oh, it's definitely a Tron movie then.
Good. I don't know if the video games have a similar track record for not selling well.
So, I guess tragically, we will never get to see a Jared Leto lookalike in the next Kingdom Hearts.
Are you really sure? Because I heard from people that speculate, okay, I know that this is not really a spoiler, but for the good chunk, no, not a good chunk, but the first major part of the movie, Jared Leto's character is similar to what they did to the actual teacher of Tron in Legacy, putting his head in a helmet and not showing him until a certain point.
Pretty much.
So they can do that.
Maybe, because that's the thing though, he's the only one of the main cast in that regard that has that. Everyone else has at least their face partly visible.
I don't know. I guess they don't want it to ask Jared to voice and act that much on screen.
I'm pretty sure at least the good first quarter of the movie he's ADR.
Whoa, I cannot imagine how Jared Leto is ADRing his lines.
Okay, to be fair,
it is these days, so I guess it's good quality, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's not horrific. It's what I'm expecting.
It's not like what's the name of that actor in Madame Web?
Yeah, the guy who played Ezekiel.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the actor.
I don't know his name either. As for the quality of the movie, it's average. Tron Average, that's the new name for the movie.
Well, quick ranking, I guess, between the 3 movies.
I'd say Tron Legacy first, Tron second, and Tron Ares third.
Wow, I know that a lot of people actually did not like the Legacy.
Okay. It's got very good visuals, there are some decent action scenes in it, and yeah, Daft Punk can pretty much carry the movie on their backs overall.
Especially because what they did to the setting. Dark Lord Shadow recently talked about it when he reviewed the tie-in games. Believe it or not, because of the success of Kingdom Hearts, doing the making of Tron Legacy, they made 2 or 3 tie-in games that are canonical to the movie and serves to establish the status quo. The problem is that if you've seen Tron Legacy, the status quo kinda sucks, so you're literally playing what was described as what if you were a Jedi during Order 66.
Yeah, speaking of music, I gotta say, I think Daft Punk did a better job of actually making a movie soundtrack
than 9 Inch Nails.
Whereas 9 Inch Nails, I don't know. They seem to just be making it's like they took like what they couldn't get in an album and put that in the movie, and half the time I don't even really think it fits.
I mean, I know you don't have a particularly good track record with them.
Yeah, but they have very fast-paced action scenes, but it has really not very well paced music to go along with it.
Alright, round two,
I mean, to
and
be
this
honest,
time I
the
packed my
only
bullets. 1,
the only
2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go.
the only Reznor and Ross soundtrack I sort of like is what they did is their bits for Soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember hearing you like that. And no, sadly, you cannot use the Gatling gun yourself after you kill the
Well, why is
hunter.
it there?
It's just to tease you, the
You're
fiend.
just gonna show me the Gatling gun and not let me use it.
That's like the equivalent of not making a secret cave with a loot behind a waterfall. That's just mean.
Gross.
Absolute
Yeah.
maidenless behavior.
I've also beaten the main story of Pokemon Scarlet.
So, did you like the final sequence?
I did, yes, very much. I mean, yeah, well, I did notice slightly the lack of voice acting, although I could just imagine their Masters EX voices in my head to maybe to carry it up a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was very well handled. All the really the kind of stuff I wouldn't normally expect to see in a Pokemon game, and this is the franchise that, in its very first installment, established a really dark concept of Pokemon death.
Yes.
And yeah, the boss theme that plays when you fight
The final boss.
the second to final boss, I should say. Yeah, I could definitely catch some Toby Foxness, for lack of a better
Again,
term.
that's the interesting thing. It's not just a case of don't worry, just resetting the game to see if the loot spawns properly in the place it should be. It's not just the case when they called Toby Fox to guest compose. They gave him the honor to do the final boss track. That's not an easy thing, particularly from a company like Game Freak and Nintendo.
Well, what he did basically was that he arranged a couple of tracks, but for the most part he made like a few themes and left it to the other Game Freak arrangers to handle.
Still, it really makes you wonder what kind of leverage does this person have?
Yeah,
Well,
that's the
from
thing.
what I understand, like over the years, like the Japanese gaming industry freaking adores Toby.
It is quite a leap going from doing music for Homestuck to an indie game to Pokemon, the
Also,
biggest
remember,
gaming
Dreams,
franchise in the world.
fan hacks of Earthbound, aka Mother 2. Anyway,
Yes.
let's pick up the item that the Hunter dropped properly. The Powder Keg Hunter Badge. As a reminder, the Hunter Badge serves specifically to have more, items in the shop. Let me actually see if I can... there it is. Badge crafted by the Powder Kegs, the heretics of the workshop. The Powder Kegs' adoration of complex design and big booms, combining weapon designs that contrast with those traditionally of the workshop. The late Powder Kegs, bless their souls, had a motto: if a weapon ain't got kick, it just ain't worth it. I mean,
Well, then give us the Gatling gun.
that's the thing. Okay, if I do wonder if it's a case where somebody in the team noticed the feedback, because you can get actually a Gatling gun as one of your firearms. It consumes all the bullets, but it is kind of worth it to pepper enemy in the DLC. So it was something that they thought about it after.
Yay. Thank you.
I can tell you, however, that it's not still my weapon of choice, because we're actually on our way to actually get it. I did acquire it off screen. It was one of the loots that you get specifically in the level in one of the side paths, that it's not too important. I just required one particular stat up, which I'm about to do. Wait, where did the automaton went? Let me see. Maybe she went on the grave. There she is.
Welcome. What is it?
Let me level up, blah 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 blah. Yes, the blood tinge. There you go. I just needed it to the stat level of 9.
Farewell, mate.
Yeah, farewell. So I can finally equip this thing that I found, the Rifle Spear, a trick weapon crafted by the workshop heretics of the Powder Kegs, a prototype weapon serving as a simple firearm and spear, possibly created in imitation of a lost Canehurst weapon. We will learn more about that term later. Lacks any notable functions, saving that is the only trick weapon with an attached gun, meaning that I don't really need to equip, I can actually do double hand, wield it. Which obviously, being a spear, allows me to perform, lunge attack, meaning that I can easily, and admittedly childishly, retool this name as Big Froster. So, please enjoy. This is basically the weapon that I'm gonna carry for the most part during the run. I don't really have any other major... There you go. Let me also put up a couple of gems. Yeah. And... yes, definitely. I don't know if he's gonna be the key to defeat properly the Bellstar Beast, but hey, we're on our way to try that, so let's go. So, Dweebs, outside of Tron Ares, have you actually seen something else, or not necessarily in theaters?
Have I already mentioned the smashing machine?
I think so, but, for the sake of, might as well try to give a repetition.
Okay. I actually did like the movie quite a bit, especially seeing Dwayne Johnson going for something that's not exactly in his comfort zone, because recently he's been really used to just making big blockbusters where he's the hero at the end who doesn't like to lose.
Like Skyscraper.
Yeah. But here in this movie, geez, I wonder if the $50 million was because his character had to lose because it's based on real life.
I also know that it's because it's basically a biography of someone, an actual person. They actually had to explore not just the fact that he lost, but that he really emotionally could not process it.
That and his girlfriend. At least how they depict the girlfriend in the movie. She's played by Emily Blunt, although I didn't really recognize her. His girlfriend is an abusive bitch.
Oh, you could say she's very blunt. It's terrible.
No. There's a difference between blunt and bitch. I mean, Blunt plays her very well.
I can't think of much of the roles that Emily Blunt had that was the equivalent of that. Not necessarily a bad guy, but, someone with a bad, attitude, and not in the cool way.
I think that's about it for films in October, right around here at least. Maybe there might be one or two others that I can't remember.
This part is gonna be published still right before our Halloween usual marathons.
Not much that I can see at the moment. There is a re-release of To the Future.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I was looking up. I think I mentioned in the previous part. Basically, Angel's Egg is getting a limited theatrical release for its 40th anniversary. So I was planning to check out, scouting up the theaters to check when it was gonna happen in my country, if ever. But more recently I noticed that instead they're actually having a couple of small re-releases for stuff like Back to the Future.
Well, in terms of at least in terms of the movies, there's Predator, Badlands, and The Running Man. The new version.
Actually, that reminds me. Have you actually seen The Long Walk when it came out?
No.
It is actually based on the very first book that Stephen King wrote. Or it was a short story, I forgot which specific, but you know what I mean. The first major, piece that he did.
I know of the general premise. Basically, you're forced into basically walking a lot, and if you stumble at any point,
they shoot you.
Die.
Are you sure you haven't wrote that, Waves?
I don't know if I wrote that or that new typing battle royale game that I saw on Steam.
I was starting to wonder, James, if you traveled. Sorry, go on.
You have to type out a letter, like sort of like in Typing of the Dead. But if you screw up just one letter, the guard next to you shoots you in the head.
Honestly, Dweebs, I'm starting to wonder if it's a case of where you travel so far in the past to create an entire genealogy line of people meant to actually, write weird things in the future.
Could you imagine if I went back in time and did that police attorney? Like you only get one chance, and if you fail, the judge just gets out his Gatling gun and
I sentence you to kiss my ass.
Christ, the legal system's more fucked than I thought, but then again, it's Japanifornia. Aside from that, that's mostly about it. I mean, like I did beat the DLC for the first Spider-Man game, but not on PS4. Virus remastered version, although.
No, you didn't. The one with Black Cat and Hammerhead.
And Silver Sable.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the main game too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main thing I disliked from that game was the Mary Jane stealth segments.
Then pretty much everyone agrees
that. You're
that.
under a taser.
Pretty much agree. It's improved in the second game, but it does make you wonder, if the real feedback was, why do we have that? Like, don't get me wrong, the stuff that Spider-Man 2 has in order to spice up the gameplay is, still something that is interesting, but it does really feel like it's breaking the pace as a result. And it's like, I want to keep playing as either, Peter or Miles, please.
I mean, I also think that I haven't got Spider-Man 2 yet, but judging from what I've heard about it, it's got a Spider-Man 3 problem in
Too
that
much
it has
stuff,
quite
yes.
Quite a load of stuff happening in it.
Yes, although it's worth noting that it is still, connected enough to, not be too scatterbrained. The Kraven plot and the Venom plot, properly interject correctly. Honestly, it's actually a lot of the side plots that actually do go nowhere because they were plannings as tie-ins for Across the Spider-Verse and on a DLC season pass, but neither actually went anywhere. The first, for no adequate reason, nobody knows why the Across the Spider-Verse tie-in was actually severed. There's nothing technically wrong with that, so...
Plus, not to mention, if they were planning on bringing back Venom in a sequel, that's going to be rather tricky.
Well, they're just going to need to recast it because, Tony J has passed away, R.I.P.
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd, my bad, sorry. Wrong Tony.
I will say, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but when I saw Final Destination Bloodlines, yes, he did look really unwell, but I think he still managed to give a decent performance, and that bit, his final lines at the end were improvised by him on the encouragement of the directors, because, well, he probably knew it was going to be his last ever role in anything.
If I had to guess, that's probably also the reason why his role was actually cemented the way it is in the other movie, while the previous one seemed to indicate otherwise, because they knew that he was not probably going to be able to return for any sequel.
Yeah, and although it's just weird enough, I think I mentioned this before, but it's been
Go on.
The directors of that film and the editor also did the live-action Kim Possible movie.
How peculiar. It's kind of like how the director of the first Doctor Strange movie did one of the Hellraiser direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah, it's really weird. Going from Kim Possible to a series in which people die horrible deaths.
Especially because if you have noticed, another weird, bizarre thing of the co-op mechanic, compared to all the other stuff that I just said about the two different bells, you know, each time you summon, someone, it costs 1 point of insight, so you have a limited resource on how you can actually perform this kind of mechanic, and it's worth noting that insight is not particularly good as a farming kind of stat. You need to be... The game gives you tools not to starve out of it, but it's best if you try to, be not wasteful with it. So... I don't know, I just think that whoever designed the co-op mechanic in this had a big grudge against people summoning everyone in the Dark Souls games. I guess that's, the only logical explanation that I can think of. Go. Alright, one more try. Get here, Alfred. Yeah, let me also change the fire paper to the Molotov. Where is it? God, I don't have that many more? Like, I used all of them off screen? Whatever. I guess I'll need to restock off screen.
I was going to say that the Anaconda movie, but that's not so.
I think we talked about it, how it's the making of the making of. It's so fucking weird. It's also weird because... It's also weird because the direct-to-video sequels... Okay, don't remember, I think... Did the second Anaconda movie at the theatrical release? I know that 3 and 4 no, because they were direct to the CG channel. But the point is that the second Anaconda bothers to reference the first one, but in such a tangential way, and they seem that whoever saw it did not, pay much attention because they kind of screwed up on who actually survived that one. I will not tell you who exactly is, did, but the point is that the second movie, yeah, did not do its homework.
Although there is this film coming out in apparently the new year that I'm curious about. It's a film called Saipan, and it's an interesting topic, at least to me. It's a sports movie about how the Republic of Ireland football team reached the 2002 World Cup, but its star player Roy Keane and manager had such a massive falling out that they sent the player home before a ball was even kicked.
Okay, I seem to remember something about it actually. Yes, I was very young, barely 11 by that point, but I do remember something on a similar line, on stuff that might have happened. Okay, I guess you were...
And the manager's played by Steve Coogan.
Wow. Stop grabbing Alfred, the beast. Yeah, again, in the last phase, even standing enough closer to the blood-starving beast, inflicts a slow poisoning, so... No, don't grab me, god damn it! Fast replicator.
Maybe you have to say please, or he won't grab you.
The polite blood-starved beast.
Yeah.
Alright, let me get back on track, might as well, for the sake of showing some improvement. Actually, I'm curious on something, as Amazon, said anything about progressing on whatever next 007 movie is there?
Well, in terms of we know who the director is.
That's one step, I guess. And
Denis Villeneuve.
yeah, Denis Villeneuve, yes.
Well, after he's finished working on
Dune Messiah.
Doom 3.
Mm-hmm. It's Dune. You make it sound like you were saying Doom 3.
And it's written by Stephen Knight, a man known for co-creating Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the creator of Peaky Blinders, and for having a really mixed track record outside of it.
Damn. Alright, Grandma, do you have anything else to say to me? Okay. Yeah, that's nice to know you. We haven't talked about the beggar. Let's see if he reacts to the fact that, Grandma got here.
The hunter. Thank you. So that old girl, you told her about this place, right? Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her alive anyhow.
Oh, I got an emote.
If you find any sense in it.
Go on, Dweebs.
I was going to say, they have the Bond series now has new producers replacing Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson after.
Yeah, infamously, Amazon. The people at Amazon, fucking over them, almost literally.
Instead, we've got new producers, David Heyman, who's mainly known for producing the Paddington films, and Amy Pascal.
Oh, that's one big fella. Ow. Yeah, that axis swing fucking sucks. Just took down this fella and go out. There you go. Nice and proper. Let's see, do I already have the item that I needed to unlock here? Only a special emblem opens the main gate. No. That special emblem is something that is sold back in the Hunter's Dream, so I will get that off screen for the sake of, not wasting too much time. But we can still do something. Oh, hold on. Custom shops. Okay. We can do something on this end. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to fight two of these things and two of these bodies at the same time, so just one at a time will be enough. Oh wow, mutual kill. Okay. Then use this time then to go back in. Yeah, it's actually interesting. These guys with the lantern, sometimes if they see you, they shout something incomprehensible. But sometimes no, they just go right into the action. There's nothing that particularly indicates when they decide to do what. Yeah, this time around let's have the big guy move. Hi. Oh no. I trapped myself with these guys, so no, let me re-unlock the gate. I was trying to close it. The purpose of this gate is specifically to, if you want to actually trap away the guy in an area that you don't want to be followed by. But unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna follow me the entire route, so... Alright, wow then. And 2. There you go. Also the Raven. Here we go. Ah. Stupid birds. No, here is nothing. Let me check. What's this? A monocular, already have it. Oh, Yharnam! Exclamation mark. Yeah, sure. Jesus, that's the side of a cannonball. Wonder what happened. Blood vials, okay. Another Raven. Oh, there's another big fella, this time around with the ball and chain. So let me try to politely ignore the woof. Yeah, I think it's actually here. What other thing I was looking for? Okay, no, here instead, if I recall correctly, it should lead me to... Oh, yeah, see, yes, there you go. There's this chest here, which has inside our blood gemstone, and this closed. Yeah, this is the door that I was saying connects to the area where the cleric beast was, which would provide an interesting shortcut from there, but for some reason they decided to keep it closed. Not sure what happened here. We must have forgotten about it, as we speculated. It also makes, you know, this area in fact a dead end. When, again, this game is not shy of actually having a lot of shortcuts, you know, particularly even way late into the game. So they must have legitimately forgotten or did not know how to implement it well. So, now, God damn it, you and your stupid ball. There you go. Just die. Stone shard. I think there's nothing more around here, so... Yeah, I'm gonna ignore him. It seems I really do need that particular emblem. I don't remember how much it costs, so... Oh, sure, don't. Let me see by going here or something else. Oh no, actually it's the way into the cathedral. Oh, regardless, we will need to go back to the Hunter's Dream anyway, so if I can't procure the emblem, we're gonna give another try to the Bloodstar Beast, because that's basically our option now. Regardless, I will grind in the meantime and get the emblem off screen, and so next time we will actually be able to move forward. Let's see... There it is. Oh, 10,000 blood echoes. Yeah, definitely not something. The Hunter Chief emblem. A cloth emblem that belonged to the captain of the church hunters long ago. Opens the main gate that leads to the round plaza of the great cathedral. The main gate is shut tight on nights of the hunt, and could only be opened from the other side with this emblem. In other words, the captain's return and this emblem determined the end of the hunt. So we're gonna have to cheat by procuring this item, but we can't right now. So instead, let's get back once again to Old Yharnam. Why not? Right, I need to be reminded, like, how did is there a particular ribbon in which they structure the pre-screen, the stuff before they screen a movie in your country?
It's basically a whole bunch of adverts, then a whole bunch of trailers, then the movie.
True. No, okay. That is similar. What I was wondering if it was something specific, because I think I told you a couple of times. In here, we have this very disturbing thing called the Disney pre-show, where we see a bunch of commercials for merchandising stuff, and also trailer for upcoming movies, particularly in the immediate future. Thing is, these things happened in every screening. Not just, Disney-related movies or, stuff that was Searchlight or Fox, so now belongs to Disney. Every single screening that you go to see, regardless of the company of the movie that, is projected, it contains also the Disney pre-show, meaning that Disney has a guaranteed royalty based on that alone in every single part of the territory in my country.
That's so messed up.
I know, right? It's so... it's almost frightening, and again, combine that with also the other trailer, it makes the waiting time like 20 minutes, which, sure, it gives a time for, people who are accidentally late to actually, arrive in time before the movie starts, but, I don't know, I think there's got to be a better way.
I feel like we don't have, something as super specific as that we do have a really long set of trailers that we go through. I hate that they've started putting advertisements for AI in an industry that's heavily affected by it. That's tone deaf, seriously.
What kind of AI?
Like the generation kind, the bad kind.
Generative?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it was like the AI they use for managing business stuff, then
that's a completely different kind of AI, though.
Yeah.
Mocap uses AI, and that AI is fine. It's specifically the kind of generative AI like ChatGPT and all that other stuff that's just everywhere, unfortunately.
To give another example, Dave, the games that we did the other year about the Lord of the Rings, the Middle-earth Shadow Duology, the Nemesis system is a self-contained AI that randomly generates the particular, boss characters that you find in the forms of the Lord Captains, but it is a, completely self-contained system that has, doesn't impact, other people without their consent.
Yeah, there are people out there who've created their own generative AI with their own work, that I feel is different.
Alright, one more try to the blood-starved, hungry beast. In case you're wondering, no, there are no hippos in this game. You have to wait the DLC of Elden Ring for that.
Oh.
Of course they need to put a hippo, of course, dangerous animals and all, so...
Wouldn't a rhino be more fitting?
Well, that's the thing. The game calls them equals, but in terms of appearance, they seem to be a combination, not Chimera, but a combination of a Hippo and a Rhino by having the more chubby and spongy, type of body structure of the Hippo, but also the horn structure and the more, typical head of a Rhino. Also, when they get in danger, they become Sonic the Hedgehog and sprout wheels from their backs. So yeah, definitely Chimera. But again, it's a long way until then. Like, Elden Ring is already big as a game. I don't even know when we'll actually arrive at the DLC section. Especially because it's reserved for people who actually beaten the game, so it's not gonna be anytime soon. Yeah, the big problem that the problem that I have with Big Thruster is that the wind-up animation for the launch attack takes a bit too long and the enemy loves to reposition just in time, because something that I haven't mentioned, instead of having the traditional backstab, you can have it, but you need to perform... I was about to die from the poison. You have to perform a heavy attack from behind of the enemy. It's actually very more effective against the pig enemy that we've seen previously in another part. So it's not as immediate as you may think, but you can perform this also on the bosses as a trade-off. Because in the other Dark Souls game you could not actually perform backstab on the bosses unless they were completely humanoid. You could parry them, but not backstab. Throw the pungent gunpowder. I think Alfred is about to die again. Please. No, that's not each. Here we go. Alright, so join us in next time, where I acquire the charm off screen, so at least we can progress if things get a bit too dicey, and we try once again to defeat the Bloodstar Beast. See you for that.
See ya.
Yeah.